Are you being listened to? I can tell you right now, more data than you think is being recorded just for listening to this episode. Shout out to all the people listening on your Amazon Echo. According to the platform I post to, if you're listening to this podcast, more than likely you're on an Amazon device. Kind of creepy that I know that, huh? I'm your host, PH, and you're listening to 1983. If you haven't caught on by now, we're talking about the surveillance state we live in. Your phone, your PC, even your smart TV has been programmed to listen to you. Not only is it listening to you, it's recording all of those things on servers, probably in California. Whether it's noting that you look at, or what you look at online, or answering a question that you have. I know I personally have asked Google for a few things. The device, while powered on, is always waiting for you to say the magic words. Most would argue that it's just a way for businesses like Amazon and Google to sell ads. But what if I told you it's not just a bot analyzing your voice and deciding what it thinks you want? Sometimes there are people paid to listen into your recordings. An article titled "Alexis is listening to your conversations" on the Commando.com website, shout out to Kim Commando, points out that there are Amazon employees listening to thousands of your conversations on every shift. Amazon says this is to make sure the feedback you get when you ask a question or ask for something is actually what's served. I think it's a little more sinister than that. Apparently, some of the audio clips overhear some pretty personal and embarrassing situations. I think it's even more sinister than that when you look into consumerwatchdog.org. And what they did is they looked into patents for both Amazon and Google's devices. And there are some pretty disturbing pieces of information in there. Just so you know, if you do anything that could be construed as illegal, I won't accuse anyone of doing anything illegal until proven guilty in a court of law. But if you do that in the earshot of these devices, your Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights go right out the window. Because you don't own the audio recording. Now, there is a way, and it's in the article that I linked for the Commando.com one. There is a way to delete some of these, but I guarantee you it doesn't delete everything on the Amazon side. But you can actually go in and see what you've said in front of Google and Amazon deep inside of the settings. And you, in theory, can delete some of those recordings. Also, some requests for information from authorities aren't even given with a warrant. It seems like those companies pick and choose who they give away information on. So why does this matter? No matter how you spin it, if you're a patriot, you're a bad guy these days. If you like the flag, don't think BLM actually exists to protect the rights of black people, and like to shoot your gun once in a while, you're labeled as a threat. Some have even been labeled as domestic terrorists. We will more than likely cover that in another episode. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about the PTO meetings. The point is, say the Nazis existed today, and they were the government that was in charge. It wouldn't be the neighbors tattling on other neighbors. You can just create some damning evidence from an election recording, and more than likely it would stand in court. So what if they're not using these devices as an undercover surveillance tool? Do you and your family have a certain set of beliefs that you would defend? If a teacher at your kid's school taught your children otherwise, would you be pissed? I'd be pissed. I'd be extremely upset. If so, you should listen to this next bit very carefully. Amazon has been programming social justice views into its devices. Your children, a lot of them, use these devices all the time. Don't believe me? There's actually a recording of it. Alexa, Amazon's own quote-unquote artificial intelligence, made a very confusing comment on Steven Crowder's YouTube channel, Louder with Crowder. When asked, "Okay, Alexa, who is the Lord Jesus Christ?" it responded with, "Jesus Christ is a fictional character." However, it knew exactly who Muhammad and Allah were. The links to these references are available in the description. To wrap up, mute your devices when you're not using them. Our family has gotten rid of all of the obvious ones, the Google Homes, the Alexas, everything like that. If you spent money on them, I'd be willing to bet that you wouldn't be so quick to throw them out. But at the very least, I would recommend unplugging them when you don't use them. Thanks for listening to Day 10 of the 12 Days of Conspiracy on 1983. God bless, stay strong, and remember, they're listening.